Hey guys, Frizzy Brony here, and we're back with another episode review, reaction, summaries, thoughts. I've got to say I'm not feeling this episode at all. Episode 19, and it's a rarity episode, or technically a rarity and a Spike episode. And I normally like rarity episodes. She is my favourite one of the main 6. But, I've got to tell you, I do not love this episode at all. In fact, it kind of failed to hold my attention all the way through. Not that I didn't watch it all the way through, but it just really wasn't one of the best. Now, from the title, Dragon Dropped, I assumed, going in, it was going to be a case of Rarity was going to be dropping Spike. So I was pleasantly surprised when it was the opposite way around. But we'll get to that throughout the episode summary, and I suppose we should get to it, shouldn't we? We begin in the castle and we see that Rarity is trying to call on Spike while at home at the castle. And she finds him rather pensive in his study.
Spike?
She's a big on woman. I'm writing my memoirs.
Oh, there you are. I was starting to think you weren't here. I realize this is last minute, but I've decided on a quick trip to the gem cave.
Now she's trying to inquire whether he would like to accompany her to the crystal gem mines. I say whether he'd like to accompany. She basically is saying, come with me. I'm giving you the choice to say no, but I know you're not going to say no. However, this time he says no. And in a nice little bit of subversion, it seems that Spike is a little bit too busy for Rarity today, as he needs to make it to the post office. For what reason, we will find out later. Because of this, Rarity starts to believe that Spike might be a little bit angry. Well, she doesn't. She talks to Twilight, and Twilight says that she may have upset him in some way, and that she may need to apologize, and so Rarity takes that on board wholeheartedly, in full drama queen mode.
I wonder if that's it. It certainly would explain his behavior. I must apologize. For what? Oh, that's hardly the point. Poor Spikey Wikey. Let's go for a grand gesture. Okay, good talk.
So now the idea's been planted in her mind that she's done something and needs to apologize, although she doesn't know what she's meant to have done and she doesn't really care. The apology is all that matters, right? And so we see her go to the post office, and we see one of the best characters. Apologizing for? I don't know, but I've got to do it anyway. Yay! Best postman. All we need is Derpy shutting down a metal grate, and the episode, for that 5 seconds at least, is immediately better. But we see she's there to encounter Spike, who should be at the post office, and instead we have Gabby, which is a nice return to the series. We haven't seen her for a little while, so having Gabby come back is kind of nice.
Oh, no, I don't work here exactly. I'm the official mail carrier of Griffinstone. Gabby Griffin. Nice to meet ya.
So we have Rarity previewing her genuine, sincere apology to Spike, just so she can make sure she's hitting all those right notes. And just after she's finished the first one, we actually have Spike return. And this is where we find out that Gabby is here for a reason. And it's more than just a quick visit.
Yeah! There was this whole thing where I pretended to get a cutie mark because Griffins don't get cutie marks, so Princess Twilight had Spike send a bunch of letters off to Griffinstone about the first Griffin ever to get a cutie mark, which I really didn't have.
Gabby wrote back explaining things, and after that we just started writing back and forth.
Turns out we have a lot in common. We both come from cultures that don't have the friendliest of reputations.
And we're both in the message sending business.
Uh-huh.
So we see that Spike and Gabby have been spending a bit of time together and become fast friends quickly after finding that they actually have quite a bit in common with each other. Which is nice to see, Spike getting a few other friends that are outside of the equine situation and that aren't dictators of an entire race.
Aha, yes.
Naturally though, this is going to be causing a few problems, as now that he's spending time with Gabby, he's not spending time with Rarity, and this gets under her skin, as we see her performing a few general chores and lamenting that she no longer has her little spiky companion.
Rarity, Spike's been following you closely since he got to Ponyville. And in case you hadn't noticed, I ain't Spike!
Come on, Applejack, you should be afraid of bats.
Now, just gonna level here. Seeing Applejack in the caves with the whole anglerfish lamp setup was kind of hilarious, and the fact that she really isn't standing for any of Rarity's nonsense is kind of refreshing to see. But then again, that's always Applejack for you. She's always going to be the one to put her hoof down. And so while going through the daily jobs, Rarity finds it's a little bit more tricky when you don't have Spike to rely on.
Please don't make this the episode where I start to not like Rarity.
I cannot decide which shade of purple is the most royal.
The darker.
There's the pink. How will I ever choose?
Too bad Spike's not here. I bet he could help you narrow it down.
Yeah,
We also get to see her with a few of the other main six trying to fill in for Spike's jobs. I mean, we've had Applejack as anglerfish cave diver. But I've got to say, Pincushion Fluttershy is oddly a little bit on the nose, and I thought that was quite adorable to see. But it does give Rarity an idea, at least, that she needs to maybe get her ideas in order before she proceeds forward.
Aww.
Oh, darling, it's no use. Thank you for trying. I'm just accustomed to the help of a small, highly
the
attentive
machine's still
fairy.
running.
Maybe you should let Spike know how grateful you are for everything he's done for you.
Time to stab him. Oh,
I'm
jeez.
sorry, Spike. I didn't mean to frighten you.
So we see her grand plan now, which is to try and take Spike's attention away from Gabby by engaging more in what he would like, and also what she would like. More so what he would like. The only one that she also partakes in, that she somewhat seems to genuinely enjoy, would have been the first one, going to the Diamond Canyons, or whatever its name was, I can't remember, the crevasse. Either way, it's a giant gem-filled thing that's only open once a year, and so her and Spike go to that, and they have a genuinely nice time. And when they get back, naturally Spike wants to tell his newer friend all about what happened.
Wow, Rarity, you weren't kidding. The gem crevasse was amazing. I'll be snacking on these for a week.
What did I tell you?
Hey, Spike!
Gabby, you won't believe where I went today.
Actually, I think I will. I got your scroll. The Great Gem Crevasse sounds a lot better than doing my rounds.
Aww.
Wow, it was definitely better. I gotta get back to Griffinstone, but you have to tell me all about the crevasse tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Wow, an understanding friend.
But Rarity might have a few other plans, because as soon as they get back, she also surprises him with tickets to a convention.
These.
Passes to Power Pony Palooza for today?
Just said
I
we
know
will see
we
the
just went to
maniac.
crevasse,
Come
but I
on!
feel I've barely scratched the surface of expressing my gratitude
I
for
wish
all
I get
you
which drawers
do.
my stuff's in. Nope.
Well,
Nope.
of course I want to go, but
No.
that'll be 2 days in a row we haven't hung out.
Nope.
Aw,
I can't find it.
are you kidding? It's Power Pony Palooza. You have to go.
Now I get it, the show is trying to be more in touch with its fan base, but this is the second convention I think we've seen. The first one was the Daring Do one, and now we've had the Power Pony Palooza, which by the way is an awesome name. Sad we didn't actually get to see Maniac. We saw Rarity cosplaying though, which kind of was actually disappointing that it was such a lackluster cosplay. But that might just be because she's not actually invested in it.
You're
My
being
claws
torn between
sore.
two women.
Indeed. I had no idea how much walking there is at a Power Pony convention.
Okay, that's
Oh,
okay.
I know I told Gabby
That's
we'd hang out
something.
tomorrow, but
And thirdly, we have Rarity indulging in the nerdiest of pastimes, a bit of ogres and oubliettes. She's given in to rolling the d20. Although it is only so that she can spend time with Spike, even though this one she actually does seem to start getting into it as well. But naturally we come to a point where Gabby wants to make sure her friend's okay. She knew he was going to be tired. And so she went and bought him some soup before she starts her round, which is genuinely lovely. I love it when friends do stuff like that. But...
Scroll said you were too tired to do anything today. But I guess you were just too tired to do anything with me.
No, that's not true. I can come with you on your rounds right now.
I don't think so, Spike.
Hug her.
Maybe I'll just handle the rounds on my own from now on.
yeah, things start to take a little bit of a bad turn because he was supposedly too tired to do anything, and yet here he is playing D&D with Rarity. And so even when he offers to go with her on her run, she says no. The friendship has its roadblock. And naturally, Rarity doesn't feel any remorse whatsoever.
Ooh! Princess Schmarity uses her prismatic beam to change that poor monster's color to a more pleasing shade of purple.
So now she's seemingly got her spiky wikey back, and we see them doing all the activities that they usually do, choosing fabrics and picking gems. Although Spike... yeah, I feel really bad for Spike seeing him so downtrodden, because every time he's there he can see Gabby and he's like, no, my friend, my former friend, my only friend. Yes, I know he has more, but still, it's sad to see Spike so upset, you know.
Although,
Well, the
I
fabric
hope you're
falling
able to
in his print.
reconcile with Gabby.
Aww.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to.
And so we have the moment where they just happen to cross paths with Twilight once again, and Rarity is asking what's wrong with Spike because he just seems out of it, and even Twilight's noticed it. She's like, yeah, that's not just illness, that's not just him being moody, that's genuine, there's a problem, Rarity, and you need to fix it. And so she sits and she listens and does her therapist thing before it twigs with Rarity that maybe she was being a bit selfish and that she now has to remedy this because essentially she's ruining a friendship by being selfish. And so she goes to sort it out in one of the best ways possible and leaves Twilight with a nice new fainting couch, which technically is nicer than the old one she left behind before. I wonder where she gets them. Does she make them? Does she import them? Where does Rarity get all her couches? One of the big questions.
Monopolized him a teeny bit. I've just grown so used to having Spiky Wikey around. I wasn't prepared for how much I'd miss him when he wasn't.
Friendships change, but just because Spike made a new friend doesn't mean he stops being yours.
I know, but now I have to share him. Which I suppose I'll have to get used to. Right after I fix this mess I've made.
Good talk.
So we're back at the post office, and this time Rarity is doing her apology shtick with the boombox, with the gramophone. But this time it's less to apologize and more to confess her guilt to Gabby. And we see her fully put her hooves up, and it's like, this is the evidence against me. These are all the things I used to take Spike's attention away. It was my fault. And so she does apologize to both Gabby and to Spike, and they learn the lesson that you do have to share your friends. You can't just hoard them for yourself. You have to learn to let them have a life outside of you. Unless you want a committed relationship, which I don't think Rarity quite wants yet. And so we see them going about their usual thing, and Rarity is once again learning to cope in the gem mines about not having Spike with her. She has Pinky instead.
Of course, Spike and I will always be friends, and I can get
Applejack.
used to sharing him.
Oh no.
Sorry, I just didn't want to drop another one and wake the bats.
Darling, catching the gems is what the basket is for. Wow.
But Spike shows that you can do more than one thing in a day, and after Gabby's mail run is done, he joins them, and effectively takes over. And that's really it. That's how the episode ends. We have him come with a big basket, he picks up a gem, Pinkie Pie knows there's something going on there, and the bats swarm into the credits. And that is really where the episode lies, and I've got to say, as I say at the beginning, I am really just not impressed by this one. The other episodes that have led up to this have been so good, and even the ones that stand on their own have at least had substance to them. But this just feels like an episode that should have been back in season 3. It doesn't seem like it's consistent with anything that was going on with the modern seasons. It's just really, really weak. And outside of having Gabby appear in it, Gabby, by the way, makes this episode. Because she is just so genuinely sweet. As composed to Rarity's, raritiness. So Gabby makes this episode and is tolerable for her, but all in all, with the grand scheme, this is a really poor episode, and I'm going to keep saying that, because there's... Without writing it down, because I like to do this off the cuff, just after I've watched the episode so it's fresh in my mind. But if I was to sit and compile loads of the points on this of why it was a bad episode, then I probably could come up with reams and reams and reams of paragraphs. Let's just say, out of 10, this episode, it gets a 3. This is officially, to what I can remember, I'll have to go back and look at my other ones for what I gave them, but this is officially my low point for the season. This is a 3, no changing on that one. What about you guys? Do you think I'm being too harsh on it? Did you not like the episode? What were your favourite parts? What did you like about it? Did you like Gabby as much as I did? Let me know in the comments down below and get yourself prepared for the bonus reactions. Not many this week, I'm afraid, guys. Most of it was just me rolling my eyes. But until next video, take care. Bye-bye.
So many jewels.
That is why I simply cannot bear the thought of having hurt you. And even though I don't know what it is,
That was a nice little touch.
I want you to know that it doesn't matter. Because I'm prepared to do anything to make it right. Frizzy. Anyway.
How long?
Rarity?
Until someone makes the joke of her holding up the thing and...
Baby, come back! I'm working on my apology to you, Spike. I don't know how I could be more genuine. I mean, Spike!
So shifty. Oh,
I am
jeez.
sorry, Spike. I didn't mean to frighten you.
Rarity, what are you doing here?
Well, I realize it's late, or rather early, but I have a surprise, and I just couldn't wait to share it. The great
I got rid of Gabby. Yeah.
I wish I didn't need
Given
to.
the fact that she's just willy-nilly chucking
The more I
stereos
waste my
around.
time with Spike, and the more I
As a
use every
musician, that
means at
hurts.
my disposal to get it back. I am truly sorry.
And yes, I did say
Spending
willy-nilly.
time with me?
That's how multiple things work, Pinky. I've gotta say, not loving it. Not annoyed, but not loving it. That was an episode.